Birds are the most unique living species, but they are not as crucial to the ecosystem as vultures, says freelance journalist and photographer Dirk Heinrich.
The farmers must realize, and a lot of them do realize, that the vulture is their best friend. Because first of all, we all should know that the vulture is the health police in our environment. I mean, they clean up carcasses. If an animal has died, they are the first ones there to scavenge on the carcass, clean up before any diseases can spread. Plus these vultures are the ones who indicate that there's something dead, which is also a good thing for the farmer. He doesn't have to search his whole farm to find out if something has died on his farm or even has been poached and killed on his farm. And the same thing with nature conservation. I mean, a lot of animals are found because the vultures are up in the air and start moving down into a certain place, and then everybody can go and have a look. The farmer to see if his cattle or something has died, or if his game has died, and probably find out why the animal has died. As I mentioned, I mean, it could have been a poaching case, and in this way he detects it. And this is actually the problem for the vultures again, because some of the poachers have started, especially when they kill elephant, as happened in the north, and they actually poison the carcass so that the vultures don't show anybody that there's a dead elephant.
Heinrich started ringing vultures on farms in September 2003, together with former nature conservation official Peter Bridgeford, a move that sparked interest in more farmers.
Sometimes they move away. As I mentioned in the article, I started with Peter Bridgeford, who was a former nature conservation official, who was very interested in vultures, and he started ringing vultures in the Naukluft Park. And we then started moving onto farms and ringing vultures there, especially the white-backed vultures. And there were quite a lot of vultures in the Hochfeld, Steinhausen, Seeeis area. And suddenly, hardly a vulture bred in that area, and we don't know why. And when they started the vulture restaurant, they told the farmers in the Otjiwarongo area, don't put out poison. I thought in this way they can save the vultures. And once we started putting tags on so that you could actually see the vulture from a distance, because the metal ring we used to put on and the colorings weren't very visible. You had to get pretty close to the vulture to see the colorings. The metal ring, the ring, and the number you can't read because it's just too small. And then we started realizing these vultures move further than where they were breeding. For example, some years ago, I ringed white-backed vultures and leopard-faced vultures on a farm about 80 kilometers east of Windhoek. And one of the leopard-faced vultures was seen a year later at Mana pools in Zimbabwe. And another one, 1.5 years later, was seen in Umfolozi, KwaZulu-Natal. And of vultures which have been ringed, and that particular one by a farmer who actually turned into a ringer, bird ringer, he ringed it north of Tsumeb, and that vulture was also seen in Zimbabwe. So these birds move around. And then some vultures have been fitted with transmitters, especially the leopard-faced vultures, and with that we could see that they started moving around their nest as they got older, then started moving across the country, into Botswana, into South Africa, even into Angola. So it doesn't help if Namibia does something to protect the vultures. It must be a regional effort, since those birds move that far. And we don't know why they move that far. Is it because of food? Is it anything else? We don't know.
Vultures serve as health police by indicating the location of dead animals. As a result, vultures are a legally protected species in Namibia. The legislation requires that every vulture killed by a farmer be notified within 10 days.